My partners hijacked my work after 12 years and told me, "You're just a technician. Be thankful we keep you on payroll." 12 years. That is exactly how much of my youth I bled into Vanguard engineering. I was the guy grinding at 3 a.m. when the deadlines loomed. I single-handedly coded our structural stress testing software. I weathered the brutal 2020 commercial real estate freeze when our founder, Victor, practically hyperventilated in the boardroom. I deferred my bonuses for 2 entire years just to keep the junior analysts from getting axed. Tuesday morning, the time had finally come. The official municipal permits for the Vanguard Spire, a downtown Chicago marvel I spent 3 years designing, were being published. The lead partner designation meant an automatic equity stake. I logged into the Department of Buildings portal at 8:15 a.m., expecting to see my name. Instead, I saw a completely different name stamped on the master architect line. It was Ryan, Victor's son-in-law, a guy who spent more time golfing than looking at AutoCAD. The air rushed out of my lungs. I marched straight into Victor's corner office. "I designed the cantilever system from scratch," I said. "I engineered the entire load-bearing framework." Victor barely glanced up. "You're a brilliant human calculator, Ethan. But Ryan has the pedigree to court international investors. He is the face of this firm's future. You lack the presentation skills. Honestly, you're just a draftsman. You should be thankful we keep you on a premium payroll." That was the exact second my blind loyalty crystallized into pure surgical spite. "I completely understand," I replied, my tone deadpan. "Good lad," Victor muttered. "Now get back to the floor. Ryan needs you to run the wind shear simulations by Thursday." I gave a sharp nod, walked to my cubicle, and pulled up my personal phone. I didn't update my resume. I dialed Elias, the ruthless developer at Horizon Construction, Vanguard's most hated competitor. He had been trying to poach me since 2022. "Elias," I said, "is that chief of engineering position still available? For the guy who designed the spire? I'll draft the contract right now." Elias chuckled. I signed the digital offer at 9:45 a.m. Then I turned my attention back to the Vanguard Spire. Victor severely misunderstood how the building's foundation functioned. The massive sublevel walls required a real-time seismic monitoring loop to pass the city's strict safety codes. That loop didn't run on Vanguard's network. It was hosted on a specialized telemetry node I built and patented during grad school. I didn't sabotage their servers. I simply revoked Vanguard's IP authorization to my personal node. I spent 3 days playing the obedient draftsman. I handed Ryan the reports. I smiled when he talked about his grand architectural vision. Friday at 5:30 p.m., I walked into Victor's office and dropped my keycard on his keyboard. "I'm resigning." Immediately, Victor scoffed. "You're throwing a hissy fit. You have zero leverage here, Ethan. You'll be begging for your cubicle by Wednesday." "I start as chief of engineering at Horizon on Monday," I said flatly. Victor's face flushed a deep crimson. "You signed a strict intellectual property waiver, which legally only covers work developed on company hardware," I noted, grabbing the door handle. "Wait," Victor shouted, panic leaking into his voice. "The foundational megapour starts tomorrow at 3 a.m. The city inspectors need the seismic node active, or they won't authorize the cement trucks." I didn't turn around. "That's the thing about being the face of the firm, Victor. You're supposed to have the pedigree to handle logistical hiccups. Ask Ryan to fix it." I drove home, ordered a steak, and turned my phone off. At 3:45 a.m., my tablet began lighting up. Without my node, the inspectors immediately red-tagged the site. Over 200 cement trucks were backed up across 5 city blocks. By 5 a.m., the concrete began curing inside the trucks. They were looking at $3.2 million in damages and a massive municipal fine. Monday morning, I stood in my sprawling new office at Horizon, looking out the windows at the frozen Vanguard construction site. My personal cell buzzed. It was an unhinged text from Victor. "Ethan, the investors are threatening a massive lawsuit. The city pulled our permits. I'll fire Ryan today. We will give you partner and triple the salary. Just turn the feed back on." I sipped my black coffee, watching a news helicopter circle his stalled project. I thought about the 12 years of grinding. I thought about being told I was just a human calculator. I typed a single response. "I'm sorry, Victor, but I'm just a draftsman. I lack the presentation skills for a job like that." I deleted his contact, tossed my phone on the desk, and turned to my team. It was time to build something real.